There's a moment every man has lived through, a moment so small you almost ignore it, yet so powerful it can expose everything she truly feels. It's that split second when she greets you. Not a conversation, not a confession, just a hello. But here's the truth no one tells you. A woman cannot hide her attraction in the first 3 seconds. Her mouth can lie. Her words can pretend. Her mind can deny, but her body tells the truth before she even realizes it. If she secretly likes you, her greeting changes. Her eyes soften. Her breath shifts. Her body moves in a way she doesn't consciously control. She's not trying to flirt. She's not trying to impress you. She's trying to hide a feeling that has already begun. Most men miss these signals. They overthink. They doubt themselves. Or they assume they're imagining it. But you're not imagining anything. Women reveal everything in the way they say hello. And once you learn to read those hidden micro-signals, the delayed smile, the subtle lean, the glance that betrays her desire, you will never mistake politeness for attraction again. So if you're ready to uncover the truth behind how a woman greets the man she secretly wants, pay attention. Because what you're about to learn will change the way you read her forever. Most men walk through life assuming women choose them the same way men choose women, logically, consciously, with clear intention. But female attraction doesn't begin in logic, it begins in the subconscious. Long before she forms a single thought about you, something entirely different has already made its decision. A woman does not decide she likes a man. Her nervous system does. This is the part no one teaches men. Women often don't respond to the man directly in front of them. They respond to the way their bodies react before their minds can create a story about him. Psychology calls this phenomenon female subconscious override. It means her feelings activate faster than her ability to understand or filter them. Her body, her micro-expressions, her limbic system, all of it moves first. Her rational mind arrives late. This is why men misread women so often. She doesn't even fully understand her own signals at the beginning, so how could you? Imagine this: the moment a woman sees a man she's secretly attracted to, her brain enters a state of micro-evaluation. Not logical evaluation, instinctive evaluation. In less than 1 second, her limbic system lights up, scanning him not for his attractiveness in the way men understand it, but for something much deeper: safety, confidence, emotional resonance, familiarity, unpredictability, masculine steadiness. These calculations happen automatically, underneath her awareness, driven by the same ancient biological circuitry that helped our ancestors decide who they could trust. And this is where another powerful mechanism activates: micro-expressions. These are the tiny, involuntary reactions on her face and body that reveal emotions she hasn't admitted yet. A twitch of the lips, a pause before speaking, a micro-tilt of her chin, her pupils opening slightly more than before. She doesn't choose these signals. They escape. Women are extraordinarily good at hiding direct desire, but they are terrible at hiding instantaneous, subconscious reactions. These leaks are the earliest signs of attraction, and they always occur in the greeting. That very first hi, the first second her eyes land on you, the way her breath shifts at the moment she recognizes you. This is where the truth lives. It's important to understand this. Women do not greet every man the same way. They greet him based on what their instinct feels, long before they have time to be polite. For men, greetings often mean nothing. For women, greetings are emotional X-rays. And the reason is simple. The limbic system processes emotional safety and attraction in microseconds. Her neurons fire. Mirror neurons activate. And her body reacts before she builds her social mask. She hasn't yet told herself, "Stay calm. He's just a friend." Or, "Don't give it away." Or, "Play it safe." She hasn't had the time. The subconscious always moves faster than the conscious mind. That is why the greeting is everything to a woman. The greeting is an emotional leak, an unfiltered expression of what her body feels before her logic catches up. Her rational mind has rules, boundaries, and strategies, but her subconscious has none. It simply reacts, and that reaction shows up immediately. You might think she's simply being normal, kind, or friendly. But women are not neutral around men they secretly desire. They cannot be. Their biology overrides neutrality. Modern psychology confirms this. Her limbic system, the part of her brain responsible for emotion and bonding, responds to male presence with astonishing speed. Within milliseconds, her body broadcasts one of three internal messages: I feel safe, I feel drawn, I feel something I'm not ready to admit. Even if she later decides to downplay her feelings, that first moment has already told the truth. And here's the part that men underestimate: women can deny their emotions mentally, but their bodies cannot deny them physically. Her subconscious always reveals what her mind wants to hide. When a woman secretly likes you, her greeting contains small cracks, tiny fractures in her composure that expose the emotional spark underneath. A slightly delayed smile, a softer tone, a stillness that wasn't there a second ago, a breath that shifts rhythm, her eyes widening for a fraction of a second. These leaks are not accidental. They are biological signatures of desire. Understanding these signals doesn't just make you better at reading attraction, it changes the entire dynamic. Because now you're seeing her truth before she sees it. You're watching the moment her subconscious betrays her. You're paying attention to the part she can't control. What makes all of this so powerful is that women are not used to men noticing these details. Most men look at her words. Few men look at her instinct. Most men respond to her actions. Few men respond to her micro-expressions. Most men wait for certainty. Stoic men notice the cracks before certainty arrives. This chapter is your foundation. Before we break down the specific signs, before we talk about the emotional pause, the pull-in greeting, the kiss-thought glance, you must understand the deeper truth. Women do not choose attraction consciously, and once you learn to see the subconscious moment her greeting reveals, you'll never be confused again. There's a moment, tiny, invisible, almost too quick to notice when a woman first sees you. A moment before she speaks, before she thinks, before she decides how she should act. In those first 3 seconds, something primal happens. something she cannot control, cannot hide, cannot negotiate with. A greeting is not just a greeting. It is an emotional leak, a window into her subconscious. And here's the truth: a woman's mind doesn't evaluate you consciously. At first, it evaluates you for safety, attraction, and emotional spark long before she even realizes she's doing it. Her nervous system responds in a flash, firing signals faster than language, faster than logic, faster than her social mask can assemble. This is why those first 3 seconds are sacred. The moment she locks eyes with you, or even senses your presence, her brain initiates a lightning-fast emotional scan, not to determine if you're a good guy, polite, or interesting. Those things come later. What activates first is the limbic system, the ancient part of her brain responsible for threat detection, connection, and desire. It asks 3 instinctive questions. Am I safe near this man? Do I feel drawn to him? Do I feel something I shouldn't feel? She doesn't think these questions. She feels them. Safety, attraction, desire she denies. And every single one of these answers leaks through her greeting. Think about it. When she sees a man she feels nothing for, her reactions are mechanical, automatic, polite. Her smile is instant because it's a social reflex, not an emotional response. Her tone is controlled. Her posture stays neutral. Her eyes don't shift in any meaningful way. But when a woman feels even the slightest spark, everything changes. Her greeting takes on a different energy, one she isn't consciously aware of. That's the fascinating part. She's not trying to signal anything. She's not trying to flirt. She's not trying to confess her attraction. Her biology is simply revealing itself. Those first 3 seconds reveal everything her mind tries to hide afterward. Neuroscientists explain that emotional recognition happens much faster than logical interpretation. The body decides before the brain explains. And because the decision happens so quickly, she cannot mask it in time. These are the 3 emotional layers contained in those seconds. Safety. Her body checks whether your presence feels grounding, threatening, exciting, or calming. Women feel safety emotionally, not logically. If you bring calm strength, her body relaxes before she realizes it. If you bring chaos or anxiety, her body tenses instantly. You'll see it in her shoulders, her breath, the way she positions her feet. Attraction. People believe attraction is a thought. It isn't. Attraction is a physical reaction. Her pupils shift before she notices. Her breath pauses for a fraction of a second. Her posture softens or sharpens unconsciously. Her micro-expressions betray her, even if her words remain friendly and composed. Attraction is micro-instinct, not intention. Desire she denies. This is the 3rd layer, and the one men almost always miss. Women are experts at hiding desire, but they are terrible at containing the instant reaction. That first flicker in her eyes, that slight hesitation before she smiles, that tiny shift in her voice, those moments reveal not what she wants you to know, but what she's trying to control. If she secretly likes you, the greeting exposes the truth long before she does. Imagine her seeing you walk into a room. Her breath stalls not dramatically, but subtly. Instinctively, she wasn't ready for that emotional jolt. It wasn't logical. It wasn't planned. It wasn't appropriate. It was simply real. In that exact moment, her subconscious lights up with a message her mind hasn't caught up to. He affects me. And that's the entire essence of why those first 3 seconds matter. We often talk about first impressions. But with women, the first 3 seconds aren't an impression, they're a revelation. A snapshot of her raw, unfiltered reaction. By the time she fixes her posture, adjusts her tone, and puts on her social mask, the truth has already appeared. She might later act normal, calm, professional, or distant. She may convince herself she's unaffected. She may even tell friends otherwise. But her body already told the story the moment she saw you. That's the advantage men never realize they have. If you can learn to read those first 3 seconds, you'll understand her long before she understands herself. And here's the beautiful thing. Women are not subtle in this moment. They only think they are. The body reveals. The subconscious reveals. The emotional leak reveals. The greeting is not just contact, it is confession. Before she speaks a word, she already told you everything. Now that you understand the science behind these first 3 seconds, the emotional processing, the limbic triggers, the subconscious reactions you're ready to decode, the exact signs she gives away without knowing it. Which brings us to the first unmistakable signal, the emotional pause. If there is one greeting signal that exposes a woman's hidden attraction more reliably than anything else, it is this one, the emotional pause. Not the polite smile, not the friendly hello, but that tiny moment of micro-stillness right before she smiles, the pause she didn't plan, didn't expect, and didn't have time to conceal. Most men never see it. But once you learn to recognize it, you'll never miss it again. Because that pause, sometimes just a fraction of a second, is not politeness. It's desire leaking through faster than she can control. When a woman greets a man she feels nothing for, her smile is automatic. It's instant, predictable, rehearsed. It comes from social conditioning, not emotion. She sees you. Her brain activates the be friendly response, and the smile appears without hesitation. It's clean, smooth, unburdened by feeling. But when she secretly likes you, her body betrays her. The moment she sees you, her mind does not immediately jump to smile. Instead, her nervous system is hit with that emotional jolt, the quick spike of attraction mixed with surprise, curiosity, and internal excitement. And because this emotional wave arrives before her social reflex can kick in, her smile doesn't appear right away. It's delayed, softened, stretched by something deeper than courtesy. Here's the psychology behind it. The limbic system, the emotional brain, reacts much faster than the neocortex, which handles logic and social behavior. When she sees a man she's drawn to, her limbic system fires first. It freezes her micro-movements, widens her pupils slightly, and triggers a subtle breath shift. Her body pauses, her chest stills, her eyes soften for a split second. That is the emotional pause. Then, once her logical mind catches up, she remembers to smile. But now the smile carries warmth, hesitation, and vulnerability. It's no longer the quick, polite grin she gives to strangers or co-workers. It's slower, deeper, and infused with emotional color. It feels like she's smiling because of you, not at you. From the outside, the moment seems innocent. But inside her body, something massive is happening. She's processing the push-pull of emotional excitement and the instinctive urge to hide it. It's that internal conflict that creates the delay. You can see this in her eyes before anything else. Her pupils expand not dramatically, but enough that her gaze feels warmer, more open. Her breath subtly lifts, and her shoulders stop mid-motion. It's like her entire body loses rhythm for a moment because something unexpected cracked through her composure. When she finally smiles, it isn't sharp or rushed. It blooms, slowly, almost reluctantly. And that softness is the giveaway. Because that smile didn't come from manners. It came from a feeling she didn't authorize. Even more telling is what happens just after the pause. She tries to recover. She might glance down for half a second, adjust her hair, tuck something behind her ear, or exhale more quickly than usual. These are grounding behaviors, her way of trying to stabilize herself after that little emotional slip. Every woman thinks she hides this moment well. No woman actually does. She may have mastered polite conversation. She may know how to control her tone, her posture, her words, but she cannot control the micro-freeze her body enters when her attraction is activated. It's like her subconscious whispers, "Slow down, feel this," and her body obeys. This emotional pause also tells you something else, something deeper. You affect her. You create a shift in her internal state, and she isn't able to mask it in time. That is the purest sign of interest. And here's what most men misunderstand. She is not pausing because she's shy or uncomfortable. She's pausing because she wasn't prepared for how she felt in that exact moment. Her nervous system is trying to regain balance. Attraction, especially when unexpected, creates a physiological interruption. She wasn't expecting you to walk in. She wasn't ready for that spark of recognition, and the greeting exposes all of it. Men chase verbal confessions, long conversations, or dramatic signs. But a woman's emotional truth appears long before she speaks, right there in those first milliseconds when her smile is trying to catch up to her feelings. If you see that delayed smile even once, understand something important. You're not imagining it. You're not reading too much into it. Your presence triggers something in her she didn't prepare for. Her greeting told the truth. Her words will try to hide. And now that you understand the emotional pause, you're ready to decode the next signal, the one she absolutely cannot disguise physically. The pull-in greeting, the hug, lean-in, and instinctive closeness she unconsciously gives only to the man she secretly wants. If the emotional pause reveals the spark of attraction in her mind, then the pull-in greeting exposes something even more powerful, how her body instinctively reacts to you before she can think her way out of it. Most men assume a hug is just a hug, a simple greeting, a friendly gesture. But psychology tells a very different story. Because a woman's body doesn't greet the same way her words do. Her words follow social rules. Her body follows instinct. And when she secretly likes a man, her greeting shifts in ways she doesn't plan, doesn't calculate, and often doesn't even realize she is doing. The simplest version of this is subtle, she leans. The deeper version, she pulls herself into you. And that pull-in is the most honest physical confession a woman gives without ever speaking. To understand why this happens, you must first understand something crucial about the female nervous system. A woman's sense of safety, desire, and emotional openness are linked. They don't function separately. They fire together. When she feels drawn to you emotionally or physically, her body follows the path of least resistance. It moves closer, not because she decides to, but because she feels you. Her torso angles toward you instead of staying straight. Her shoulders soften instead of stiffening. Her hug isn't sideways or distant. She brings her chest slightly closer. Her weight shifts forward, and her arms wrap around you just a fraction longer than necessary. And here's the part almost every man misses. If she leans into you first, even by half an inch, she is subconsciously telling you she feels both safe and attracted. You don't lean into someone you fear, and you don't lean into someone you're indifferent about. The lean is instinct pure. Unfiltered instinct. Think about how people hug acquaintances. Quick, sideways, minimal contact, a polite tap on the back. Now compare that to how a woman greets a man she secretly wants. Her body says things her mouth will never say. She doesn't just meet you halfway. She crosses the invisible line first. Her arm slides around your waist instead of only your shoulder. Her head angles toward your neck instead of staying upright. Her fingers press lightly against your back, not in a clingy way, but in a grounding way, as if she's savoring your presence for a moment longer than she should. This is the orientation response at work, a primal instinct wired into the brain. When she's interested, her body orients itself toward you, seeking closeness. When she's not, her body orients away. This is why the pull-in greeting matters. It's comfort plus desire plus safety woven into one involuntary reaction. Here's the psychological truth every man needs to know. If she's willing to lean her body into yours, she's already imagined what it feels like to be closer. She'll never admit this, but her nervous system already did. And the deeper the attraction, the more subtle the lean becomes. It's not dramatic. It's not exaggerated. It's soft. Almost invisible unless you're paying attention. She doesn't fling herself at you. That would reveal too much. Instead, she lets gravity do the work. A soft pull, a gentle angle, a tiny shift in posture. But that tiny shift is everything. Because when a woman is neutral, her body stays neutral. When she feels something, she moves into your space, and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. What makes the pull-in greeting so revealing is the emotional undertone behind it. It's not just contact. It's comfort. It's warmth. It's a sense of, I trust this moment with you, that she would never allow with a man she only sees as a friend. And the most fascinating part, she often pulls away slower than she initiates the hug. That lingering second, barely noticeable, is her savoring the connection. Her nervous system is reluctant to let go. even if her mind tells her to stay composed. This is why a woman never hugs the same way twice. Her hug reveals how she feels in real time. If her attraction for you deepens, the pull-in gets stronger, warmer, closer. Even if she keeps trying to act casual, a woman can fake words. She can fake tone. She can fake friendliness. But her body leaning into yours, that she cannot fake, because that movement is not a decision. It's a reaction. And here's the real secret one men don't hear often enough. If she angles her body toward you during a greeting, you're not trying to attract her anymore. You already have. Her lean is the confession she'll never say out loud. And once you recognize this sign, the next clue becomes even clearer, the one hidden not in her body, but in her eyes, the lightning-fast micro-glance that reveals the exact moment she imagines what it would feel like to kiss you. That is the kiss thought glance. And it's the next undeniable giveaway. Of all the signals a woman gives when she secretly likes a man, this one is the most powerful because it reveals desire she would never dare to say out loud. It is fast. It is subtle. It is unguarded. And if you blink, you'll miss it. Psychologists call it a triangular gaze pattern. But in real-world attraction, it's far more primal than any academic term can capture. When a woman looks at your eyes, then your lips, and then back to your eyes, she is revealing something her logical mind is desperately trying to hide. She's imagining what it would feel like to kiss you. This is not flirting. This is instinct. The female brain is wired to scan for emotional and physical compatibility in milliseconds, before she even understands what she's feeling. Her eyes betray her thoughts. Her gaze drops to your mouth, not because she chooses to, but because something about your presence activates a deeper instinct. It's attraction without permission. Most men misinterpret this glance as coincidence. She looked down. She looked away. She looked nervous. No. If her eyes land on your lips even for half a second, that is not accidental. The lips are one of the strongest sexual cues the human brain responds to. And the moment her gaze flickers there, desire has already entered the room, whether she wants it to or not. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The kiss thought micro-glance only appears when she feels both attraction and safety. Desire alone isn't enough. Curiosity alone isn't enough. Friendliness definitely isn't enough. Her mind needs to trust you before her eyes reveal that internal spark. This is why this sign is so rare and so telling. When she greets you and her eyes drift to your lips, even briefly, her body is communicating something her words never will. I'm aware of you in a way I'm not supposed to be. Watch closely in those first few seconds of a greeting. She might smile first. Then look at you, really look at you. Her body stills. Her breath quiets. And then, almost like a reflex, her gaze lowers from your eyes to your mouth. She catches herself, snaps back up, and continues the conversation like nothing happened. But the truth already slipped out. A woman cannot hide this one. Every micro-inch of her eye movement is controlled by neural circuits she doesn't consciously command. Desire hijacks attention, and the mouth is one of the first places attraction pulls the gaze toward. This glance often appears in 3 specific moments. 1. Right after she sees you, as if her mind can't help scanning your face. 2. Right after you smile, because your lips just moved, and that movement draws instinctive attention. 3. During silence, when the tension between you quietly grows, and her brain fills the space with curiosity. But the most revealing part is the return, a key detail most men never catch. She doesn't stay looking at your lips. She snaps her eyes back to yours quickly. Why? Because the second glance, eyes back to eyes, is her checking your reaction. It's her subconscious saying, did he notice? Did I give something away? Is this safe? This rhythm, eyes, lips, eyes, is the confession. The first glance shows desire. The second shows vulnerability. The third shows curiosity. Together, they form a silent sentence. No woman speaks aloud. I feel drawn to you, and I don't know how to hide it. Think about it. A woman will look at the mouth of a man she finds irresistible. She will never look at the mouth of a man she sees as just a friend. Ever. Friends don't scan lips. Attraction does. This micro-glance becomes even more charged when paired with the signals from earlier chapters, especially the pull-in hug or the emotional pause. If she combines them, she's not just interested, she's pulled in. And here's the part that gives men the advantage. Once you recognize this glance, you no longer have to guess how she feels. You don't need to chase. You don't need to overthink. You don't need to decode mixed signals. Her eyes already told you everything. But the secret is in your response, not reacting with desperation or excitement, but with quiet, masculine steadiness. Hold her gaze an extra second. Slow your words slightly. Let the tension breathe. This is how chemistry deepens. Not through force, not through pressure, but through shared, unspoken awareness. Because the kiss-thought glance isn't just her revealing attraction, it's her testing whether you can hold that moment without collapsing into nerves or rushing in. When you meet that glance with a calm, grounded presence, you become something most men never are, a man she feels safe wanting. And that's when the greeting stops being a greeting and starts becoming an invitation. There is a kind of greeting women give only to a man they quietly, deeply care about, a greeting so subtle and tender that most men fail to recognize it for what it truly is, a protective instinct disguised as softness. It's the shift in her tone when she first says your name. It's the warmth in her eyes before she even speaks. It's the way her entire energy softens the moment you step into her space. This is not friendliness. This is not politeness. This is attachment revealing itself in its purest form. When a woman secretly likes a man, her nervous system responds before her logic does. Her body senses him the way someone senses comfort after a long, draining day. And without thinking, she greets him differently, gently, protectively, almost as if she's trying to shield the connection from the world around her. It often happens in tiny moments most men overlook. When she approaches you, her voice lowers slightly, not out of shyness, but out of intimacy. A softer tone creates emotional closeness. It's the body's natural way of saying, "You matter to me." I want this moment with you. Her gestures slow down. Her shoulders relax. Her eyes soften at the edges. Women don't soften for men they don't care about. They soften for the man whose presence feels safe. This is the soft, protective greeting, and it's one of the strongest signs she has real feelings for you. What makes it so revealing is that it's completely unconscious. She's not trying to be flirty or sweet. She's not performing. Her entire body simply shifts into a more nurturing, more attentive mode around you, one she cannot access with just anyone. Pay attention to how she reacts when she first sees you. Does her face brighten in a way that looks almost relieved? Does her posture loosen, as if tension melts off her shoulders? Does she greet you with a softness she doesn't offer others? That softness is not random. It comes from investment. Women protect the men they like, not from danger, but from emotional distance. She unconsciously tries to create a small pocket of warmth just for the two of you, even if you're surrounded by people. That is why this greeting often comes with protective behaviors hidden inside gentleness. She asks if you slept enough. She notices if you look tired. She checks if you ate. She pays attention to your mood before you say a word. Men often mistake this for her being nice. It's not niceness. It's emotional priority. A woman will not mirror your mood or check your energy unless she is invested. This is a form of subtle guarding, an instinctive way of saying, I care about you, even if I'm not ready to admit it. And it becomes even clearer in physical proximity. Women instinctively adjust their body language around the man they like, especially during greetings. She may angle her body toward you, even if she's trying to act casual. She may step slightly closer than necessary. She may brush your arm lightly as she says hello, not to flirt, but to reassure herself that the connection is real. There is a protective quality to her presence, almost like she wants to make sure you feel welcomed, appreciated, and grounded when she greets you. This is her heart speaking before her mouth does. And the most telling part, she becomes more attuned to your emotional state than you are. A woman who secretly likes you can sense your mood before you say anything. She reads your silence, your expressions, your tone. She adjusts her own greeting based on what she feels from you, offering softness when you seem stressed, enthusiasm when you seem drained, positivity when you need it most. This is the emotional intelligence of attraction at work. Her subconscious is trying to take care of you in small, unspoken ways, not as a mother would, but as a woman whose heart is quietly leaning toward yours. The soft, protective greeting is also her way of keeping the interaction private, even in public. She may lower her voice so only you can hear. She may angle her body to create a small bubble between you and everyone else. She may pause before speaking, just long enough to make the moment feel personal. It is a greeting that holds emotion she's not ready to say out loud. And here's what makes it even more powerful. She does all of this without knowing she's doing it. Her body shifts toward comfort. Her energy shifts toward intimacy. Her attention shifts toward you first, and everything else second. This is not the way a woman greets a casual acquaintance. This is the way a woman greets a man whose presence she feels in her chest, not just in her mind. Men often look for loud, obvious signs of attraction, But the truth is, the strongest signs are always quiet. The gentle hey, the way she smiles with her eyes before her lips, the softness in her voice that appears only for you, the protective attention she offers without being asked. This is her heart slipping through the cracks. And once a woman greets you with softness, she has already given you a place in her emotional world. She is no longer neutral. She is no longer indifferent. She is no longer guarding herself completely. Whether she realizes it or not, she's letting you in. This greeting is her subconscious whispering, I like you. I feel something with you. And I'm trying to take care of the connection before it even begins. Recognize this, and you'll never again mistake genuine affection for friendliness. You'll see her feelings long before she ever admits them. Now that you understand how women greet a man they secretly like, the real question becomes, what should you do when you notice those signals? Because attraction is not just about what she does, it's about how you respond. A low-value man reacts. A high-value man regulates, anchors, and magnifies the attraction already in the air. When a woman greets you with softness, nervous excitement, or emotional intensity, the worst thing you can do is overreact. Don't rush. Don't get jumpy. Don't suddenly turn into a performer who tries to match her excitement with exaggerated energy. Women aren't attracted to men who mirror their nervousness. They are attracted to men who calm the energy. A high-value man doesn't tighten up. He doesn't stare. He doesn't fumble. He keeps the energy grounded. You don't need to impress her. You don't need to flirt aggressively. You don't even need to say much. You only need to do 3 things, and these 3 things separate a grounded, masculine man from every other guy she's ever met. First, you hold steady eye contact, not intense, not staring, just controlled and present. Women can feel the difference instantly. Eye contact from a nervous man feels like pressure. Eye contact from a strong man feels like gravity. It pulls her in without effort. Second, you let a subtle, slow smile appear. Not a big grin, not a flirty smirk. A calm, effortless smile that says, I see you, and I'm not shaken. This tiny gesture does 2 things simultaneously. It reassures her, and it deepens the tension. It shows confidence without arrogance and interest without neediness. Third, you speak less, but with presence. Your voice stays calm, unhurried, and grounded. Your first few words should feel like warm gravity, not excited chatter. A simple hey, good to see you delivered with depth is far more attractive than any clever line. This balanced, silent confidence paired with warm presence is magnetic. It signals emotional stability. And emotional stability is rare, powerful, and insanely attractive. Remember this. You don't amplify her nervousness, you anchor it. When she greets you with excitement or softness, and you respond with steady control, you create a polarity she cannot resist. This is what creates masculine tension, that slow, warm pull she feels in her stomach. That feeling she can't explain but cannot forget. A high-value man is not trying to win her. He's not trying to convince her of anything. He's simply allowing her attraction to deepen by offering the one thing she craves but rarely finds, a man who is calm in the presence of feminine energy. This is what makes her want to greet you like that again. This is what makes her think about you long after the moment ends. This is what makes her wonder what else she could feel with you. Your power is not in reacting. Your power is in holding the frame. A masculine frame she will never feel with anyone else. At this point, you understand something most men never will. A woman's greeting is not random. It's not small talk. It's not politeness. It's a window into her subconscious, one she rarely opens for anyone. Once you learn to see these signals, you stop guessing. You stop doubting yourself. You stop wondering whether you're imagining things, and you start recognizing attraction for what it truly is: energy, tension, micro moments that reveal how she feels long before she ever admits it. But here's the part that matters most. What she shows you is only half of the equation. The other half, the part that determines how she feels around you, is the man you choose to be when she sends those signals. If you stay grounded, if you stay calm, if you stay in your masculine frame, you don't just notice her attraction, you amplify it. You turn a spark into a pull. You turn curiosity into desire. You turn a greeting into chemistry she can't shake off. And that's the power you walk away with today, the ability to read her and the ability to lead the moment. So now, I want to hear from you. Which greeting have you seen the most? The emotional pause, the pull-in hug, or that quick glance to your lips when she thinks you won't notice? Drop your answer in the comments. Your experience might help another man finally understand a truth he's been blind to. If this video opened your eyes even just a little, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown. Every week, we dive deeper into the psychology of attraction, female behavior, and the art of becoming a stronger, calmer, more magnetic man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. And I'll see you in the next one.